Take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0 if you think you
Morning,
won't.
good dog.
Try to make me look good, huh? I always look good. I look great. I look fantastic. I am what you call naturally, aesthetically beautiful, but not as beautiful as this little thing that we got going on here called the Sports Show. That's right. Do me a couple favors. You know the drill. Every single week, I'm going to keep hitting you up to do it. At Sports Show Podcast is what you want to search. At Sports Show Podcast. Look for the blue and white logo. Hit the subscribe button. Hit a couple likes on the videos. Share them with your friends. Say, hey, look at this funny take over here. Hey, listen to this perspective. Hey, look at these two beauties. One of two, but they average at 1.5 beauties. Actually, nonetheless.
It's a clean one.
It's a clean one. Clean one, okay? Podbean, Spotify, that's how you can listen on the audio. I said it, YouTube and Instagram, that's how you get some of the visual. And, of course, CJSW 90.9 FM, the third Tuesday of every single month. Are we coming up? Is that today's show?
That's not today's show.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's next week's show.
Next week's show.
But we're going to do it's going to be a faster show today.
It's fast-paced today.
Fast-paced today. Let's rock and let's roll.
Let's do it. Man, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm
What's
okay,
going on?
buddy. How are you?
I'm good. How's the
leave?
The leave, yeah.
You know what?
Are you settled?
If you don't mind, I got to take this so I can see what the hell's going on.
Oh, the time.
Okay,
yeah, you need the time.
Let me tell you something. First couple of days.
Yeah.
First day was great.
What?
Second day, I was ready to go back to work.
What?
It was horrible.
What?
Horrible. No, I mean, now it's getting
Yeah.
a little... Now I'm starting to catch my stride. I figure out
Yeah.
some things. But, yeah, my wife decided that, okay, since you're going to take some time off, I'm going to take some time off. And she went, got all her appointments done in one shot. But what she thought would be a good idea turned out to not be a great idea. You can't leave me that long with the kids. It's just not a great idea for anybody. Not for them, not for her, not for me, not for anyone.
But it's a hard start.
Dude, I'm telling you now, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. That job is a tough job.
Yeah,
It
of
is
course
not.
it is.
It's not easy, and I would say that work. See, when you go to work and we got a nice routine. Maybe we don't notice it all the time. We don't realize it, but there's a routine there, and it's nice.
Buddy, listen, I've always been real about it. I've never been a jerk about it. But to like you know what it comes down to when the dust settles and the chips fall.
Yeah.
Everyone's just got their duties and their roles.
That's right.
It's the 90-10 split. I'll do 90% of this. I just need you to pitch in to do 10% over here.
That's right.
And we all figure it out, right? Everyone.
Agreed.
But that role is great. Like to deal with whiny kids, like that. It's not taking care of. Is not the hard part.
No, that's easy.
Yeah, you feed them, you walk them, you bathe them.
Yeah.
You whatever, right? You watch shows with them.
Yeah.
You take them out. That's not the part.
That's not the part.
It's the crying. It's the whining.
It's the whining.
the fighting.
It's the constant attention.
Oh,
it's
man.
all that. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. And that you say like, oh my goodness, no wonder. But I've always been real because, when you go out in the, for us working, like I remember, I don't know about you on the first stint, but I took a week off. You go home, you help out.
Yeah.
But dads have the best gig in the world. And I brag about it. I'm not apologetic about it. Actually, I brag about it. I get to be super dad for like 1.5 hours a day after I come home.
Right.
Start the bed process.
That's right.
Rock and roll.
Done.
And I look like good cop. I'd do that 10 out of 10.
Listen, there's something to be said. I do like the fact that I'm just relaxing. Buddy, I will say, like, all that's whining and stuff, when I go to, at the end of the night when you're kind of unwinding, you're like, oh, you know what? I don't have to get up for work in the morning. This is kind of nice.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. I got a lot of things done. In fact, the agenda's never been done sooner in the day than it was yesterday. Let me tell you that.
He was off, though. He's like, I did the agenda. Yeah. I made a quiche.
Yeah. Everything. Laundry.
Laundry.
Wash the floors. Yeah. You name it, I did it.
He's taking up crocheting.
Crocheting is another,
underrated skill.
Underrated skill, yeah. I mean, you can make your own sweaters.
All jokes aside,
yeah.
we should talk about this too, maybe on the Greek hour there. But all jokes aside, nobody does you ask someone now, oh, my button fell off my jacket.
It's over.
No one knows.
No one knows.
Right? Tools, crocheting, putting a patch on, anything.
It's trades. The trades.
The trades. Shout out to the trades.
Shout out to the trades. All right, real quick. Speaking of the trades, funny you bring that up because, when you grew up, you said to yourself, well, this is what happened. I was minding my own business for the 1 minute I had to myself, and I was perusing the nets. But speaking of trades, that's the one thing that a lot of people are like, you know what? I think that's the industry I want to get into going into the future. AI is going to take over everything. One thing that people, what did you dream about? You wanted to be a cowboy or you wanted to be
You really want me to tell you
a hockey player? Some people wanted to be an astronaut, but not so much anymore. I brought this up a couple of months ago, and it's still happening. But maybe Elon Musk came to the rescue. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 months ago, 2 astronauts were supposed to go up to the space station to go fix something up, stay there a week, and then come back down. They went up, and they haven't still come down. They've been up there for 9 months. They were scheduled for a week, been there for 9. So I guess NASA called Elon. They're like, listen, there's these 2 people. It's a long story. Can you help us out? So I guess they sent out a spaceship, a crew of 10 to go up there and get them, and hopefully that's all good. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what do you give these guys? How do you apologize to these astronauts? Like, it's one thing if you have to work overtime, right? And your boss is like, hey, Dimitri, we really got to get these files done. We got to do it. It's not a 9-month endeavor. What would you ask for? What do you do? Do you give them the dirty eye when you get down? Like, what do you do? How do you explain this to those guys?
Yeah, what does NASA's human resources look like?
I'll tell you one thing. It better not look like this other department I know of. But, yeah, what do you do to these guys? And, buddy, being up there where there's no gravity, that's not good for your muscles. Like, these people, all jokes, they're going to be a little messed up when they get back.
Yeah, listen. So, I was thinking about it. To keep it sports related, it'd be terrible if they were like from Cleveland, Ohio, and it's like, we got you season tickets in section 314 to the Browns. Right?
There it is. You're welcome.
Oh, thanks.
Can I go back up?
I don't know. I don't know what you do here. So, but how does the first conversation go? Hey, Daryl. Hi, Steve.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
So you're not
back, hey?
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Last week, we also, right before we get to hockey, because this is going to take us into hockey, this was gold. I saw this literally, guys. I went to go put my phone down. I thought I finished the agenda. I added it in. This is gold. The last couple of weeks, we've been making fun of LeBron James, all because of NBA, all this stuff that's going on. No, don't get my son's name out of your mouth, Stephen A., and don't talk about me, and I'm a great basketball player. You want to hear how awesome hockey is again? Yeah. Watch this. Dan McKinnon, funny enough, because the McKinnons were here in Calgary yesterday, along with the Avalanche. He's the GM for the Utica Comets. That's, I believe, in the AHL. He traded his son to the Cleveland Monsters, Will McKinnon, for future considerations. The dad traded the son for nothing. For nothing. That, my friend, is hockey. That, my friend, is how a dad treats a player in the national hockey, in professional hockey, whatever you want to call it. That is gold, man. That's gold. He's like, yeah, just take him. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Don't worry about it. Get him out of here.
But that's, what's crazy about that whole thing? It's like, remember back in the day, Maury Povich and those talk shows where it's like, Maury, my son is uncontrollable and I don't know what to do. That's why I've written into the show for help. We are going to boot camp. They would take the
kid. This is like NHL boot camp.
NHL boot camp. It's like, I don't know what to do. Take him. We'll figure it out later.
Oh, some gold.
You're going to learn some respect when you come back over here.
So good. So good.
The dad is saying, I want you to keep my name out of your mouth.
Hey, and you talk about we have a great organization over here. Classy organization.
But he went home that night and gave his wife the business too. And all these years where you coddled them, and all these years you gave him what you wanted.
Please. And he probably kicked them out of the house. Yeah, I mean, they were probably living together. That makes sense.
Guess what, Irene? You're going with them.
That's the future consideration.
And I will consider this whole thing in the future.
Some gold. They're like the owner's like, you can't trade your wife. The hell I can't.
Watch me. What'd you trade? Future considerations. The heck is going on here? But I don't know why, but it would just depict like every time this goes down, that the trade happens like the show The Honeymooners. Like Jackie Gleason. That guy was out of control.
That was a little aggressive. a little aggressive. Yeah, sure. What's Christmas at their house going to be like this year?
Buddy, the future considerations, this is great. Be like, I'm going to come home today. Like, what happened? Well, I bought a new car. Why? Well, future considerations.
Some gold. That's actually the nicest way of saying you suck and I couldn't get anything for you. And they're going to send me something like a surprise box someday. Well, there's not even a timestamp on this.
And everyone's worried about the Rantanen deal where it's like Carolina's like, we gotta get him out of here. We don't know. Who takes the future considerations deal? It's like, yeah, I'll give you.
Yeah.
No problem. Sorry.
What do you do one day when you're, and see, this is where the other team could get in a little trouble. It's like, okay, yeah, future consideration for sure. GM is gone, right? You know, he leaves, he gets fired. Yeah. So McKinnon here calls, he goes, hey, your guy promised me your best player. So send him over. Well, it's nowhere here. Hey, man, it's on paper. It said future consideration. I've considered it. I want your best player.
Yeah.
Send him over. Well, we'll give you back your son. No. Hold on a minute. No, that's not what it says here.
Before all you whiny people be like, yeah, actually, what future considerations means. Listen,
we're having some fun.
We're having some fun. It's called fun.
It's called fun.
You should future consider yourself and your lack of sense of humor, if that's the case.
Let's get over to the NHL because things are starting to get serious. 18 games remain in the National Hockey League. And the wild card on both sides, East and West, is tight. It's tight and it's good. Listen, Flames and Vancouver are going out of here in the West, and St. Louis is right there. I don't know why a lot of people are forgetting on St. Louis. I wouldn't, especially when you got Billington and ready to go. And that's the one thing that those two teams, Calgary and Vancouver, I would say are lacking right at this moment. I know you're all going to say Dustin Wolf's awesome, and he is. But guys, if he's the only good thing that's on the Flames right now, like the Flames right now are right there. And I was telling Dimitri this on the way there. He went to the game last night. Why do we have to take the hardest route to get anywhere? We had an opportunity to take down Vancouver. We would have went up 3 points in the wild card. That's big. Then, okay, fine. We didn't win that game. We end up tied with Vancouver. Now we take on the Colorado Avalanche, who now look like maybe the number one team in the NHL.
Yeah.
You saw them in live. What do you think of Colorado after all those trades?
So it's funny, me and the CD were talking about it, and a lot of people have been talking about it. I couldn't say it's just us. How many people they swapped in and out?
Yeah.
Is actually
that's right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Right? The Woods in the goaltending situation.
I know.
They
got two Woods.
But you got a black book. It's kind of like the sports show.
That's right.
2 solid Woods.
2 solid pieces of oak.
2 solid pieces of wood.
Wood.
You know?
The Westwood and the Blackwood, right?
Wedgwood.
Oh, Wedgwood, yeah.
Sorry. Well, I could see Westwood was the team
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was a Westwood warrior.
That's right. See, that's what was in my head.
That's why. Because,
that's right.
You know. But so here's what I got to say. Number one, Cale Makar's the best defenseman in the league.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. The guy is silky smooth. Him and the Taves on the back end, that is the best D pairing. I actually can't remember. I was trying to go back. I'm like, where did I see something like this before? I don't know. I got to go back, like a Niedermeyer, Steve.
Yeah, but who you can say Niedermeyer. You can say all the good ones, but who are the guy? Who's the other guy?
You know what I mean? That's where I'm trying to go. Is like I'm trying to think. But these guys
Duncan
are,
Keith and Seabrook.
You know what? I know, but I take Makar and Taves.
Oh, 100%. I would too.
And the crazy thing is when they're on the ice, what they do, like how the whole team plays as a result. Like it's just, you guys, I can't describe it. The positioning, the speed.
Ooh, what about an Al McInnes, Gary Suter? Now I don't know if they played together.
No, man, this Makar and Taves tandem is unbelievable. Colorado looks stacked.
Yeah,
they got every player. We're talking about this Kelly who's just contributing everywhere. Yeah. Calgary. Man, like this team reminds me of the 04 team, just without that one scorer, right?
That's right.
But we're doing everything the absolute hard way.
Yeah, man. That's the only thing that gets me crazy.
And can I tell you something else?
Sure.
Remember where we were complaining about clapping for a guy like Tanev when he came back?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, can I just throw something out? This team's better than it was last year, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Good point. Good point.
What do we
Good
clap?
point.
What
so you're clapping because we were worse with that guy.
That's it. That's
a
all
good idea. That's a good point. It's a good point.
Okay, I said it.
Real quick, in the East, that's really tight. Right now, the Blue Jackets are holding down that second wild card. You got the Rangers, Canadians, Red Wings, Bruins, and even the Islanders are right there within a 4-point spread. This one's going to go down. This is my favorite time of the year. I'm not going to lie to you.
Too.
As we head into it, this is the thing. So the trade deadline, after it's all been said and done and the dust settles, the one thing that starts coming up are some stories. And this one, to me, is the good one. It's the Toronto story. I'm sure you guys have all heard it. So Mikko gets traded from Colorado. He goes over to Carolina. Carolina says, hey, let's try to sign you. He's like, no, thank you. I don't want that. They end up on the trade deadline, sending him to Dallas. No state tax. Took a little less money, but made more money. I know, it's crazy, right? Before he went to Dallas, there was a report that came out that the Toronto Maple Leafs and Carolina had a little bit of a talking to with each other and said, I like what you got. You like what we got. Let's make it happen. Brad Treliving had to go over to Mitch Marner, who this year is an unrestricted free agent. He goes, hey, Mitchie, listen, we need you to sign off on your no trade. Carolina wants to send us Mikko. You can get to Carolina. You'll get that extra money you've been looking for. Because apparently they're about 1.5. They're about $1 million to $1.5 million off of where they stand right now. And Mitch Marner turned around and said, listen, man, I'm having a career year. I'm from this area. I'm a Canadian. I want to stay right here. No signing on the trade. But when you think about it, this now, where the negotiations weren't going well, Dimitri, this, to me, this is the Johnny Gaudreau situation all happening again. If I'm Toronto fan, say goodbye to Mitch Marner at the end of the year. There's no way he stays here. And if he does, you must give him the loot. All of it. No hold backies. All of it. Thoughts?
I'll tell you my thoughts. I don't understand how the players are so sensitive nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this straight. You guys hire agents to negotiate at maximum contracts for yourself. And good on you.
That's right.
I'm glad you do. To the point, actually, look, I'm in the business of hoping people make more money.
Yeah,
okay?
that's right.
So
Yes.
I applaud all of you. Make all the money in the world.
All of it.
You got one life.
And when you do have it, give him a call.
Come on.
Hey.
Right? Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's number one.
Okay.
You guys, as players,
Right.
Will turn around and leave for the money or leave if your situation's not great.
That's right.
And that's your prerogative.
Hey.
So when management does the same,
Exactly.
you guys
That's right.
are upset.
Yeah.
Look, it's a business.
That's right.
Guy's looking to wheel and deal. He looked at the roster and the players and said, hey, Mitchie, Marner. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that every good team needs a Mitch.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't agree more. Hey. Ding.
Okay. But, but the thing is like, okay, so, hey, Mitchie, are you going to waive your no trade clause? Just want to see where we stand. No, I'm out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, don't take it so personally. How else did, outside, okay, a couple of you got drafted. We get it. Right. How else did everyone get there?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Trades,
how else
everything.
did your team get there?
That's right.
Okay, so
I think,
enough with this whole, I can't believe this is happening, and same with, God rest his soul, Gaudreau, but all these players here, you guys are so sensitive. You guys want to be business, but you don't want to do business.
That's right. Very sad. Listen, and this is where you have to be, I'm more mad at management, and I'll tell you why. Who gave him the no trade? When you start giving the players that kind of authority, that kind of power, of course they're going to. If I'm Mitch Marner right now, like I'm dead serious. You want to stay in Toronto, I get that. You want to be you are also part of this four horsemen situation that didn't amount to really much. Let's call it what it is. You're off by about $1.5 million. You'll have and this is the same organization that's trying to deal with Vladdy Guerrero, and they're out by $100 million.
Yeah.
So as you can see, your $1 million it's not happening. So they say to you, hey, why don't you go to Carolina? They'll actually give you an extra year of guaranteed contract because they're the only ones that can offer you that. You're going to be on a strong team. You're doing this, you're doing that. And then he's like, well, no, I want to stay there. Okay, fine. And to Dimitri's point, you can't be mad at Brad for trying to make the team better. But it is awkward because it's like how to be a GM, I'm starting to realize it's a tough position. Because you do have to massage it in a way where you're like, listen, Mitch. Because this is what you're kind of saying. Mitch, we found a player that's better than you. We're willing to trade and take him and sign him. we don't want to sign you. We got to send you off. But you have to say it in a way where he won't be offended any which way. But that's the reality of what's going on. You didn't take the money that was offered at the beginning of the year. The fact that you think you're going to take the same amount of money or a little bit more money at the end of this year is not going to happen, especially now that there's this like aura there. There's this aura there.
Not happening.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And the other point too is, okay, so now, and this is the whole thing with going back. We say the Gaudreau situation because we're in Calgary.
Well, we saw it.
We saw it unfold.
We lived it.
So it's funny, living again. Eh? This guy
seems to follow him.
But the whole thing too is, okay, Mitch and Marner. Basically, what they were saying in that is, we don't want to pay you the money that you're asking.
Right.
We have a solution over here. You tell us, oh, you want to stay in Toronto. Okay. Now we'll get to see how bad you really want to.
That's right.
So is if you guys are $1.5 million off, the way I look at it, is everyone will probably meet in the middle. So is your willingness to really want to stay on this team worth the $750,000 haircut or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Now you tell us. Because if it comes down that you don't, and you're about the money, which is fine, don't get mad.
That's right.
That the guy saw what you want to do a mile away.
That's right. Like,
I can't.
Buddy, neither can
babies,
I. And
man.
let's say he does take the money at the end of the year, okay? So he takes it, but Toronto fan is still mad at you that you didn't take that hometown discount. See, like, you can't win now. There's no win here.
No.
Because you deserve max money for what you've been doing this year. I get it. But now you're also in Toronto. Let's remember where you want to sign. You want to be under the microscope, take more money. The pressure now went from here to like up here. And you guys have to produce. Somewhere down the line, one of you got to do it.
Yeah.
I still think the Austin Matthews thing is brilliant. The 4-year contract is so brilliant.
Smart.
Because he's out of here guaranteed in 4 years. And there's no he's gone. Done. End of the convo. I just don't understand, Mitch, why you want to be under that. You could come to Calgary. I'm just throwing this out there. Come to Calgary. We'll give you that money, right? Or if we can, we'll give it to you. And here, we'll be on you, but not like Toronto on you. Like, you have the opportunity to go wherever you want. Go down to Florida. Go down to Boca. Hey, boom, done.
Boca Vista.
Go to Tampa Bay. Go somewhere. I don't know why these guys all want the money, but in this case, he wants the pressure too. I don't know. Why would you do that to yourself?
He'll do something stupid and go to Winnipeg for the same contract.
So hilarious.
That's how that happens.
Okay, I got a question for you. You saw it live and in tune. Like I said, less than 20 games left in the season.
Yeah.
Right now, we haven't talked about it really at all. You got Draisaitl, 48 goals. I saw him score a goal last night in overtime. McKinnon at 102 plus points now. And Hellebuck is on fire. He's got all the goaltending records. Who's this year's MVP?
I got to give it to Draisaitl.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, he's leading the.
Why do you say that?
The pack. I just think he's been consistently dominant through the year. And there's something to be said with McKinnon.
Mm-hmm.
That one's really close, actually. But I like Draisaitl's playing a little more killer.
Uh-huh.
I like goals. I like deal sealers. I like that. I like what he's doing, especially being on that team.
Right.
You got to remember, he's technically the number 2 guy.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's looking like the number 1 guy.
Isn't that the truth?
And that's what I like.
And this is a guy that just got his money.
And he just respect. Thank you. Now I'll show you.
But at the same time, it's not like McKinnon didn't get his money last year either. He got some money too, and he won MVP, and he's probably going to win it. I think he's a 2-time winner. He keeps going the way he is. I hate to say it. This is the problem that I have with all the MVP, both the Norris and this one in the NHL.
Playoffs, right?
I want the playoffs, but I also, a guy like Wolowski right now over in Columbus, everyone's talking about him. The defenseman, the guy's ripping it up, man. He's keeping that team in the wild card, and on top of all the other stuff that happened with that team. Whatever happened to the MVP being the guy that he's the right guy. He's the perfect guy this year for this team. No, he doesn't have all the points, but without him, there's no way we are where we are.
Well, that is the essence of.
But it's not. It's always about points. No, it's all about points now.
Agreed. I'm saying that is the essence of what it should be.
And even Hellebuck, as much as I respect the goalie position, probably the hardest position, for some will say. The guy gets no respect because he can't seem to win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But he's got all save percentage, goals against, you name it. Hellebuck's got it, and we're not even talking about him.
Yeah, but I get it, but I also think Winnipeg, I can't pin Winnipeg on just one person because they're all really
They're all very
doing
good.
Really
No, you're
good. Right. They're all doing really good.
They're all great.
The problem with the goaltenders, unless you have like a breakout season, right, where you're looking at like Carey Price, Brodeur, Hasek, these guys that were like 10 plus.
I will take Hellebuck over Carey Price any day.
Yeah, but I'm talking these guys had seasons where they had like 10, 15 shutouts in a year.
Right.
Where you're like, hey, like these are direct games won.
I hear you.
It's tough because if you have a solid defense.
Right.
Because the other thing, too, is, okay, in the Hellebuck and Winnipeg situation, they're high in the league in the standings, right?
Right.
Teetering at 1, 2, this and that, right? Mm-hmm. So, fine argument there. But if you're the goalie and you're not winning games...
I know, it's crazy, but that's hard. But look, I hate to pick on Carey Price, but everyone covets him for being such a great goalie, and he was a good, a national team goaltender. He did all the right stuff. But he was never that guy that carried them that far. Like, okay, I know they went to the finals against Tampa Bay in the bubble. I put that one here. Like, I don't know how to... There's a little bit of an asterisk there. Really shouldn't be, to be honest, but there is. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm sorry. I look at Hellebuck right now, and I almost want to change my vote because I'm like, in this day and age with all these amazing players, and he's doing that kind of stuff against all these guys... Might have to turn to that. I might change my vote.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, really hot take. You have to pick a starting goaltender.
Yeah.
Luongo or Carey Price? He's your Canadian number 1 now.
For like a gold medal game? Or just like any game?
Just on the team.
Just
you're
I go Luongo, man. I do. And I'll tell you, I just feel there's something about that guy. He shows up on big games. Week to week, year to year. Like if you said pick the one guy for the entire year, I'd go Carey Price. One game, I'm going. I'm going more.
These
Luongo.
3 guys.
Yeah.
Okay, because they all have the little asterisks where it's like, they
yeah.
They could crumble, and you're like, So you have to pick.
Yeah.
Luongo.
Yeah.
Carey Price.
Okay.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh,
who's the starting goaltender? And in what order is your Team Canada? What order are they in?
You know what? I would go Marc-Andre Fleury 1.
Wow. Okay.
I go Luongo. No, I go Luongo 3, and then Luongo 2, and then Carey Price 3. I know it sounds crazy what I'm saying. I know, but at the same time, there's just something about.
It's a tough one.
I guess Fleury's the one guy that I actually trust because I've seen him win cups. Like, I'm sorry, that's just the way I look at it. Big time goalie. He's there when he's still playing. God damn it, he's still playing.
I gotta go Luongo 1.
Okay.
I do gotta go the Carey Price 2.
Okay.
And then the Fleury 3.
Weird. See, I have him. I don't know. And he's your goalie. He won you 3 cups.
No, he won.
Sorry. Yeah,
right. That was Matt Murray.
Hey, listen, my boy, my Fleury's got even one as a backup, or if you want to call it
Fair.
that. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like he's just sitting around making money.
Fair.
He's sitting around
Fair.
making money. You know what else is making money? The Sports Show Power Rankings, brought to you by Sinatra's 403-472-5222. Happy birthday to his 2 daughters this week, Nick and his girls. Free pizza for everyone. Just joking.
We take that back.
At number 5, I made fun of them earlier, but they're there. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Max Domi's starting to show up. He's starting to do some stuff. Mitch Marner wants his money. He's going to have to get on his high horse and show everyone why he's worth the money. I got Toronto at number 5.
Ooh.
At number 4, listen, Marchand still isn't playing. Kachuk's out for a little bit. Bennett had 2 goals. I don't care what anybody says. Everyone is scared of the Florida Panthers right now. And what about a little Ekblad? Did you see got suspended for 20 games because he's juiced to the titties?
Is that where he's juiced to?
He's juiced to the titties. When he gets back, everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. He's going to go through withdrawal. He's going to snap sticks. Everyone's dead. Florida at number 4.
So good.
At number 3, listen, they're on a 4-game win streak. They now have overtaken the Oilers for second in the Pacific.
Yep.
It's the LA Kings. And maybe, if we're lucky, for the 5th year in a row, we're going to see the LA Kings and Edmonton Oilers go at it in the first round of the playoffs. I'm serious. It'll be the 5th year in a row if it happens.
It's crazy.
They've got to change the format, bro. They got to change it. This is getting silly. I'm sorry.
That's building good rivalries, bro. That's what they want.
5 years in a row, you want that? I don't mind if they play in the second round. First round, 5 years in a row.
Fair enough.
At number 2, it's the team Dimitri saw last night. It's the Avalanche. These guys are stacked. Made a lot of mid-season moves. They're just good. And the number 1 player, well, he's got the most amount of points. McKinnon and Makar. They're working together. They're looking for the cup. And I think they're on the way. And at number 1, they're holding down the number 1 wild card spot in the East.
Oh.
It's the nation's capital.
Yeah.
Trudeau, you're out. The Sens are in. Number 1 on the sports show power ranking.
You know what? I will say something about the Ottawa Senators.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Should they be the Ottawa Sinatras?
Oh.
Wow.
I see what you're doing there.
Sneaky.
Right.
I think everyone was a couple years early to predict their success, but that Brady Tkachuk, the regime change over there,
I know.
I like what's going on. And I'm happy to see them at the top, where the toppings go, where they're supposed to go. Okay, enough of this, hey, let's load this thing with a bunch of vegetables. Why? Because it gets watery and it gets soggy and it gets greasy. And really, in my opinion, they have no business there.
Right.
I would prefer to see you saute and take the water out and then put it on the top. But that's just me. But otherwise, what are you dealing with? The flop.
What?
The flop of the week goes to the entire Western Conference. I thought about this long and hard.
All right.
And you say, why? There's a lot of things going on. That's the whole point, you schmucks. There's way too many things going on over there. I'm looking at Vegas. I'm looking at Dallas. I'm looking at Colorado. I'm looking at Edmonton. You guys think you're so smart and you're soaked up and absorbed all the players only to take each other out. The whole conference now is setting up for the biggest disappointment from a fan base of all time.
That's a good point.
And then all of a sudden you're going to have a Calgary LA Kings conference final somehow.
Somehow.
And everyone pick your spots. Delegate your teams. The East has it figured out.
Yeah.
They know it's Florida or Washington.
That's it.
Enough said. We get it. It's done. Boston, we're out. Tap out. Now I get Sweeney's moves. Western Conference, get your shit together. Okay? Stop stacking the box. It's not going to work. Flop of the week.
Beautifully, buddy. That's your best flop of the week. That's good.
I was looking, I'm like, and it dawned on me. Yesterday's game, I'm like, I'm looking at Colorado, I'm like, Brock Nelson's here. There's 7 players in, out,
good.
Dallas, Rantanen, let's go, beef it up. I'm looking at Vegas, they're pulling their tricks. I'm like, you guys, oh no. Last year, everyone's like, Edmonton's going to win the cup. No, I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree. Winnipeg. We keep, buddy. We're number 1 team in the NHL. We're not even talking about.
We just like the guys like the star-studded goaltender. We're like, what's going?
Who's that guy?
You guys are. This is stupid. This is out of control.
Speaking of out of control, listen. I told you before. Right now, this is my list. Okay, NFL first regular season game is my favorite thing.
Sure.
Second, first round of NHL playoffs.
Yes.
Number 3. NFL free agency. Number 4, or tied with number 3, is March Madness. It's in there somewhere. That's how much I love it. And March Madness starts next week.
I know.
Real quick, I'm not gonna lie. You saw me funneling around. I must have dropped that piece of paper. NFL frenzy. I can do it off the top of my head because I was doing it yesterday.
He loves
it. I'm here.
He computes at a high level. It's a beautiful mind.
The NFL right now.
Yes.
This is the reason I love frenzy is because in the free agency, everyone's just guys that I thought had guaranteed contracts.
Out.
They have them, but they're like, no, you go over here now. I'm going to go over there now. Guarantee yourself over there. This is why the NFL works. People just move around. It makes it more fun. It's exciting. So, real quick, the New England Patriots had the most amount of money. They didn't do anything flashy, but what they did is they worked their trenches, the D-line, the O-line.
Yes.
They got the Vrabel. This team is going to be good next year, guys. I like New England. Not great, good, better than they were this year. They're on their way. They got the money.
And watch what happens when you start, because New England gets it a little bit. They know how to develop players.
Yes.
They're beefing up in the right areas.
That's right.
Then when you sprinkle in the splash.
That's right.
They're going to have this money for a while, you guys.
Yes.
Okay, think about it. They're going to have this money for a while. Then when you put in
That's right.
not the other way around.
Not the other way around.
Not like,
I hate to tell you this. The purple team looks strong, too. They made a lot of interior. When you go out and get a whole bunch of Indianapolis Colt offensive linemen and put them now on your team, all of a sudden, your team got a little stronger. Minnesota's looking okay, but we'll start with Minnesota because this is where the fun starts. So you got a guy like Sam Darnold, who had a fantastic season. But then they're like, well, we got this guy, JJ. I know he hurt his leg. We want to bring him in. What do we do with Darnold? Okay, let's let him go. Where should he go? He'll go to Seattle. But wait a minute, Geno Smith's there. Oh, wait, no, he's not. He went to the Raiders. Crazy. So Darnold gets $100 million to go to Seattle. Now Minnesota is going to go with the rookie guy that no one knows. Wild card. Is he going to be that guy that we want him to be? Maybe. Because the Jets had a quarterback where they had Aaron Rodgers, as we all know. They said, Aaron, listen, we don't like you doing the McAfee show. You're causing too much drama. You're gone. He says, fine, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Justin Fields, hey, Pittsburgh, you got 2 quarterbacks. We want one of them. Justin Fields, now over to the Jets. Not sure if I like that call, by the way. I'm not totally on that one. But the Jets needed a quarterback, so they go and get Justin Fields. Aaron Rodgers has 3 choices. Pittsburgh, interesting, now that they got DK Metcalf. Along with George Pickens, not bad. He can go to the Giants. Nothing there. But media. And, going to the Giants versus the Jets, that could be fun. Or does he do the Brett Favre tour and go to Minnesota? Dimitri, where does he go?
If you go to the Giants, that's fine. I'd love to see you in Pittsburgh.
Right.
But if you go to Minnesota... All I'm gonna say, if you do it, listen, Aaron, honey sugar baby, let me talk to you.
Okay? Yeah.
Just don't. You've already tanked the career enough. You got to remember, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Okay, Brett Favre. He did the Jets quietly.
Agreed.
Okay?
Agreed.
He did the Jets quietly to the point where you're like, was he even there?
Good point.
Then he goes to Minnesota.
Right.
And he actually had a pretty good run.
Not bad.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, he did a classic, over the shoulder, tried to get an interception, and the Saints ended up winning the Super Bowl. Doesn't matter.
He
did it quietly.
And he went to the playoffs.
And he went, you're going to ruin your entire career because I'm telling you, if you go to Minnesota, you guys are going to have an awesome team.
Yeah.
But all you're going to do is spark the Packers.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the wrong move. And you got to go, but it's got to be Pittsburgh or Minnesota.
Yeah.
It has to be because he's got to Brady Tampa Bay his way out.
Yeah.
You got to pick the best team that can do it. And in my opinion, it's the Steelers. Because if the Steelers could do what they did being in the AFC with that team, with the quarterback situation they had, you can do it too.
I agree. Listen, I think he's got to go to the Steelers. You got DK. You've got Pickens. A decent little run game. You guys will figure that out. This team always makes it to the playoffs.
Yeah, man.
In one, if not the hardest conference. Tomlin's still there, and you have a defense. You got Watt there.
Yeah.
So I don't see why it's even a choice unless they don't want you, and maybe they want to keep Russell Wilson. Does Russell stay in Pittsburgh? Because obviously, if he stays in Pittsburgh, then, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers is going to do the Brett Favre tour. And that's what's the most disappointing. If he ends up in Minnesota, it's not because it's Minnesota, Dimitri. It's you were all about, I want to be my own man. I don't want to be Brett Favre. I don't want to be compared to him. You're literally about to do the exact same thing again.
And you know what the worst part of the whole thing now is? You're doing the Brett Favre tour. You're comparing it. See, as a Packers fan, this is what pains me.
Right.
Brett Favre won Super Bowl. The old gunslinger. Beloved. We loved him. You come him.
Yeah.
You win a Super Bowl, I think it was like your first 3 years, whenever it was.
2010.
You're like, holy smokes, this is amazing. I can't believe it. We got ourselves the quarterback, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You haven't done much more.
That's right.
And if you do the full Brett Favre tour and compare yourself to Brett Favre, at the end of the day, you're putting yourself under him.
That's right.
Unless you... The only way is to win out in Minnesota.
That's it. Like, there's no... dude...
And he's doing Minnesota with... And I argue this Minnesota team might be the best all-around minus a quarterback team they've had in decades.
Yeah. I don't know. If I'm Minnesota right now, I could look at it going, he has to promise. Like, if he's going to come, You got to get him to promise that he's going to take care of JJ. Like, none of this controversy, none of this, I want to be here for 2-3 years before this kid gets on the field. None of that crap. It's you're in until we actually think he's ready, which could be mid-season.
Yep.
And then he's coming in.
Yep.
None of this, I'm here till I feel like staying in. I truly think that's maybe the number one reason he hasn't signed anywhere right now.
Can I tell you what Pittsburgh should do?
Well,
They should take Aaron Rodgers, keep Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Have the two old-timers.
That's amazing.
And just go game for game.
Boom.
Be like, hey, Russ, tag me in.
Why
Hey.
not? Like NHL goalies, yeah.
Yeah,
One in, one out,
guys,
one
guys,
in, one
why
out.
not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not just...
I couldn't agree more.
The real winner out of all this, I know you just said you don't like, is Justin Fields.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
He finally gets a start.
Yeah.
He finally gets a start on a pretty good... It's a pretty good team.
Listen, I mean, does he have more that he did in Chicago and even in Pittsburgh? Sure. I guess. You're right. I just don't think he's ready yet. I don't know. There's something about Justin Fields I look at and I'm like, you're still... It's like a mature factor. I'm not saying he's like immature or bad. It's just I feel like he's just not groomed enough.
Agreed.
He's not ready.
He got dealt a bad hand in Chicago.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Then he bounces. Like you think, oh, Pittsburgh, bad hand there.
Yeah, bad hand there.
Right. So now it's
Yeah.
like fine. He just at some point you just got to start and see if you're worth it or not.
I agree. That's exactly it, and that's what they're doing.
So at least he's got a better situation than he had in Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
In the Jets.
I couldn't agree more. Listen. And I mean, at the end of the day, Minnesota would I think they quietly really want Aaron because JJ is unpredictable. Like, you guys got lucky, admit it, Minnesota fan. You all were quivering with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The guy had a great season. Why wouldn't you bring the guy back? That's the one thing I don't understand. Even with JJ. Go, Sam, you're gonna be here. We're because the kid's coming off Achilles. That's never fun, and he's never played. What if he sucks?
Yeah.
Which it most likely may be. So why wouldn't you want the guy that's proven to be a winner here to stick around? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I really don't. It's such a
what
such
did they
a thing.
finish the
Weird.
season at? 14-3? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yes. Yes.
So it's not like you're in bad shape.
No.
Like, I guess the thing that bothers me out of the whole thing is Minnesota, classic Minnesota.
Yeah.
You have you have a rookie quarterback. You draft him. Was he first overall?
He was in the first round.
He was in the first round, but he wasn't the first.
No.
He's you have okay. He comes out with an injury, unless you know something that we don't.
Right.
Fine. But I'm like, okay, so you're trying to groom this new quarterback. You have a guy who really overachieved, happy to be there.
Right.
Thank God for getting me out of a situation.
Exactly.
Why cause controversy? To Mitch's point, just ride it out until someone's ready. And if not, it's not like the team's in bad shape.
I actually even understand why, like Geno Smith, who got resurrected in Seattle, and then they turn around, they're like, okay, you're going to the Raiders. You know what? In a weird way, I kind of understand that one. The veteran, he doesn't have that many more years left. Send him over to the Raiders. They really need him. We'll grab Sam Darnold, no problem. He seems resurrected. He's ready to go. $100 million. I mean, sounds like a lot of money, but it's really not, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Craziness. We'll talk more about it next week, but we had to get the Aaron Rodgers talk because he hasn't signed yet, but to me, it's just like, why? Here's a guy, like, I understand why teams don't want him right now, because in all honesty, you don't really know what else is coming with him. You're getting him, but what else are you getting? The media, all this. The Jets even told him, we don't want you doing that McAfee show anymore on the Tuesdays, right? I mean, and he's like, that was apparently one of the things that triggered both parties. He's like, absolutely not. And they're like, no, you got to. I get it. Like, you don't want him like telling everyone your secrets, which he was.
Well, I mean, he's very unprofessional about it. But my thing too is NFL, like teams. Why are you guys rushing for the Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes?
Because there's not a lot left, man.
I know, that's what's going to save your franchise. Really, you guys? I think everyone thinks that everyone's a Tom Brady in their late ages.
Maybe
not everyone is Tom Brady.
No, that's
Guys.
a very true statement. Dude, I'm actually really curious to see how Mahomes does this year. I'm like really curious. After that Super Bowl loss, how does he come back from it? I'm so curious to see. Because I think that we'll talk about it more.
Great
but
point.
I think there's I think Kansas City's starting. The decline is on its way now. I think. I really do. Okay. With that being said, let's head over to everyone's favorite. It's Rapid Banter.
Okay.
If the WNBA folds, does anyone notice?
No, they could hear the tree in the forest first.
So I don't know if you heard the story. Angela Reese, she's the one that's always like fighting with Caitlin Clark in the W. She's going, well, next year the new batch of girls they're gonna make more than us. Forget it. We're all gonna strike. And I started laughing, and I'm like, do they not know where they are in this world? And they don't. They literally don't.
Well, especially her. It's like you're you're a decent player, but you're only popular because you're messing with the best player.
Yes.
Anyhow.
Exactly.
Anyhow.
Former Vancouver Canuck, Anaheim Duck, and now currently the coach of a minor hockey team, Ryan Kessler's team in the playoffs. He coaches 14 and under. Beat a team 44-0 in the playoffs. Mercy or Power Play Boys was only 10 for 12.
Yeah, well, you should have got to 50.
Amazing. You know what? I heard an interview with him. Bottom line, he's right. It's the playoffs. What's he supposed to do? He wasn't even there. He had some other business thing to do.
Hey, Vancouver, Trevor Linden.
That's all
Ryan Kessler, JT Miller.
Boom.
Oops.
Spain chosen as a country with the best-looking men. Fake news or Antonio Banderas?
It should have been second to Greece. We all know that.
I was very disappointed when I saw it. Sidney Crosby reaches 70 points for the 15th time in his career. GOAT?
There was a secret stat I saw floating around on the internets whereby he could be the first person to do 20 straight point-per-game average seasons. Yes, GOAT.
Ocho Cinco made headlines a few weeks ago when he told Stephen A. Smith he got surgery in the nether regions. How much does that cost? And I'm just asking for a friend.
Ocho Snippo.
It is rapid fire. Yeah, did you hear the story?
Buddy, that interview, like Stephen A. Smith, you can see.
Great interview, though.
Great
right?
interview. I was just looking at him the whole time like.
He's like,
Okay.
Dude, can I be honest with you? If Ocho had to go and get it done, then I think all of us need to go and get it done. I'm just saying.
Buddy, my favorite thing is when he's complaining, he's like, the deeper comment.
Buddy, that was so funny.
Saying, Stephen A. Smith is losing.
You know, I was thinking about that deeper. I didn't know if you had heard it or not. When he said that, I was like, so maybe the person you're with, because I don't know, like I think he's married to this person now, but I don't know if that's where the story lays. Like maybe the story was from years ago. I don't know. Point is like, it could be that too. Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's a little bit different.
Sure,
It's different. Everyone's different. All right. Well, it's Maga Malaka, and it's surgeries that we can all feel to make ourselves feel better. And that's what he said. He goes, I did this. He goes, why is it that women can go and get their breasts and their butts and their lips all injected and done up to make themselves feel better? How about Maga Malaka? Things that guys can do to make themselves feel better.
Okay,
all right.
I like that. Okay.
How about height? Maga or Malaka?
Well, I don't need it, but for some of us.
You know what?
Maga.
Can I just show you something? I knew he was going to say something about it, so I wrote down, okay, relax, Andre the Giant. And by the way, why does the height have to be up? Why can't it be down? Let's say you're 7'2",
right?
And you're awkward. Why can't you go down to 6'4"?
Scale down.
Scale down.
Where do you chop?
Don't know.
Like
the knee.
You got to fuse the shin.
The femur.
That's a tough one, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because you got to take it for both sides. Because you got to have disproportionate leg to torso. It's like, hey.
Just all leg. It's like leg up to his tit.
It's like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Huh. Up here. Yeah.
I'm 6'4" now. Yeah, you're all leg though.
All right.
How about weight? Okay, everyone's doing the Ozempic.
Yeah.
Why not just do what before Ozempic for all those younger people that don't know? They used to do what staple the belly, I believe it was called. They'd staple the belly.
The stomach.
Stomach, yeah, staple the stomach.
Or liposuction.
Lipo.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah.
Maga or Malaka?
Listen, Maga.
Yeah, Maga.
Why not?
This Ozempic, it takes 4 or 5 months for it to get really effective.
I'm a little upset that I didn't ask the doctor during the hernia surgery to kind of scrape up some. Yeah,
you should have got him in there.
Maybe take some weight out. Like he's already in there. Like
yeah, exactly.
Just get the spoon. And
just pull it out. Yeah,
like exactly. I wonder if they looked at my stomach and they're like, "Man, that's a good ribeye.
That's
Look
good
at the fat cap on that.
That's a nice fat cap.
Nice fat cap."
Okay, here's one that I think are conjoined. Okay, follow me on this.
Not joined, conjoined.
Conjoined. To me, they're the similar thing.
Okay.
You're walking into a bar. Okay, you see a beautiful young lady. You see her, and then she opens her. She smiles. You're like, ooh, the teeth. And then you look down, she's got open toes, and then the toes are a little jammy up.
So we're in London. We're
so
in
the
London,
question
England.
is, toes and teeth, or dental and toes surgeries,
Right.
yes or no for guys?
Yeah, so you've placed us in London, England.
Hi, I'm Bethany.
Okay, so true story. Number one, the teeth, Maga. It's got to happen.
The teeth, yeah.
Right? You can't be like, you're like, Dreamweaver. Hi.
Hello. Good day.
So me and the Sign Graphic 7, we're out, his years ago, we're out one night, okay?
Yeah.
This guy, so at the time, okay, let's just say he was drinking his drinks with a single, okay?
Got it,
He was riding around
okay.
with a single.
Gotcha.
He was drinking singles, okay? Anyhow,
Yeah.
so we're there, and there's this one lady at the bar.
Yeah.
And I look down. Mitch, when you say the toe, this is so funny. I nicknamed her Pretzel Toes.
Yeah.
She looked like a carnival. Like it was like one overlapping.
Dude.
I'm like, what stilettos did they force you in, right? Like you remember back in the day they used to make like people like walk into
Yes.
teacups for the aesthetic. So I go, I'm like, Burger, I'm like, hey. I'm like, what are you doing with this girl? We in or we out? He's like, no. I'm like, well, let's leave Pretzel Toes at the bar stool here and get out of here. He didn't
buddy.
notice. He looks down laughing.
Dude,
Laughing.
that is a big game changer.
Yeah,
I think for both parties, both men and women, they look down, they're like, he's a what the mother? Like, dude,
Mitch.
it's a killer.
Mitch, it was like staring at Medusa.
Yeah, dude.
I almost turned to stone.
I hear you, bro. I
almost
hear
turned
you.
to stone.
Oh, it can work the other way. You might find this girl, you're like, she's all right. And then you look down, you're like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Good for you. Nice. There's something there. I get it.
Maybe the sandal's not for you. Listen, it's no different than men. You
Yeah.
know, there's some men that should just put those things away.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Like
That's what I'm saying.
showing off your toe fungus is not a
Not
thing.
a thing.
It's not a thing.
Speaking of that, okay, now you're a guy, all right? You're doing like Dimitri is a great example of my next one. The butt. Should men be okay with butt lifts or Brazilian butt lifts? I don't know what
I'm
to call.
thinking about it.
You're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it. I gotta say,
Do you
Maga.
think the women covet the butt
I
the
think
way
they
we
do.
covet the butt?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something different about you, Dimitri, this week. Oh, really? Oh. Here's one that I don't understand why we don't do more of. If the women are doing the breasts, right? Because, we enjoy it and they know that we like it and they do it for themselves. Why aren't guys doing their biceps or chest?
Oh, you know what? I gotta
Like,
go,
literally,
no,
why?
And I'll go with the butt. I'm gonna go Malaka on the previous one, and
Okay.
I'm gonna go Malaka on this one.
Okay.
Get to the gym.
Get to the gym. But hold on a second. I agree. I agree you could do it naturally, and the breast you can't, obviously. But dude, if you've got the money and you can make it look like you were at the gym, why wouldn't you do it? I guess what I'm saying is not enough guys do it, and I find that weird because that to me is what a woman actually looks at first, either the arms or the chest. I'm thinking.
Okay.
So
maybe not.
I think so. I think guys should get more into this. I need more of us to go out and get chest surgery.
Well, just take steroids.
Well, but then you got to put the effort in. Why can't we just have the surgery to make our
Oh
chest?
my goodness! Did we just come up with the first effortless steroid?
This is what I'm saying.
A steroid that shapes your. Hold on. Sorry, guys. We gotta sign up here. Write that down.
Write that down.
Call Pfizer.
Last one.
Okay.
It's a big one. The country next to us seems to be the big thing. Hair replacement. If you're losing your hair, do you go and get the Maga? Maga. You don't think some guys are just better without? Don't you think your body goes, you know what? You don't need hair. This is why we're getting rid of it.
Okay, fair enough. But I will tell you, I can't. It's all I got, you guys.
That's true.
You
bald would be amazing.
I can't. No, take that back.
I would just like to see
Take that
what
back.
I'm just saying.
Take
you have
it back.
You have a great face.
Take it back. Okay.
I just wanna
don't
see
you
what
wish that on me, Ricky Bobby. don't you put that on me. But listen, we got to put this on you. You now, yes, you, the listener, to follow us on the channels, to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Instagram page, please. At Sports Show Podcast, look for the blue and white logo. There's a lot of fakers out there, but there's only one maker that makes it happen every single week. CJSW 90.9 on the FM dial. At Sports Show Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all the channels. Appreciate you. Episode 347. 3 plus 4 is 7. That equals the 7 at the end. 1 for the books. Shove it in the locker. We do got to hit the showers. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. Have a great week.
W was saved by the bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast. Amy can do anything.
She's the best.